74 years ago, the clouds over East Asia darkened as Little Boy and Fat Boy were dropped. Japan in general was one of the countries who suffered the most in the post-war time. Not only did they have to cope with the bombs of massive destruction psychologically, but during the war, they lost approximately 2.5 to 3.1 million lives. This, and due to its psychological effects, led to an unemployment of the people who did survive, which in return led to problems like lower industrial output and starvation. Now we all know that the three pillars of economic growth include accumulation of capital, labor inputs, and technological advancement. Hence, in the beginning of the post-war era, the first reform that Japan introduced was to reallocate the resources, especially labor, from the low productivity agricultural sector to non-agricultural sector which enjoyed higher productivity. The economic growth of Japan, which we know today as the economic miracle, happened in four stages. The first stage being the recovery phase, which lasted from 1946 to 54, observing Japan's industries being brought to their knees because of the war. Among all the countries, Japan experienced the most significant drop in industrial output. The Ministry of International Trade and Industry, formed in 1949, created a synergy between the government and the private sector to improve the industrial output, thus leading to economic gain. From 1950 to 51, the total amount of world trade increased by 34%, among which Japan's production increased by nearly 70%, which provided a greater boost than any other to its economic recovery. The high increase phase, which lasted from 54 to 72, experienced the most significant growth recorded in the country. Japanese education system played a huge part in the economic growth by producing highly skilled and disciplined workers. Then came the steady increase phase, during which, in 1973, Japan's per capita GDP was 95% that of Britain and 69% that of the United States, which led to proper expansion at a brisk rate for almost two more decades, forming an economic bubble. At last came the low increase phase, which started around 1992 when the economic bubble faded away, leading to a recession. The most important factor that enabled Japan's economic growth, which still stands as an exception to the modern economic history, was the ability of the people to successfully combine all the knowledge and the skills gained from the foreign countries and applying them in their own system. The economic miracle did not occur simply from introducing new reforms and policies. Instead, it occurred when the government was ready and able to make the hardest of decisions in the toughest of times.